Hey everybody, I just wanted to give you a quick content warning for this one. We talk about somebody who defends the Catholic Church, so that means they defend some pretty nasty stuff. And you can imagine what kind of stuff that is, hurting kids in different ways, and as well as a lot of homophobia, transphobia, racism. So yeah, just beware of that. If this is going to be a tough one for you, I understand if you need to skip it. And also, we do have some sound issues with this episode. There was some buzzing in the microphone at one point. Cut a little chunk of it out, but there is still some of that in there before we noticed it and switched mics. So I do apologize for that. I hope it's not too damaging to you, but this is the second time we recorded this episode, and I didn't want to do it a third time. So, and maybe we were cursed by Bill Donohue, who this episode is about.
America needs a tidal wave of the old-time religion.
I have sinned against you.
How dare you!
We have no need to doubt God.
The harlot Babylon is preparing the nations to receive the Antichrist.
I didn't even build that house with money from the church. I built it with money from my book.
I don't make this stuff up.
Repenting of your sin.
It is a moral issue.
They got together and swore a pact to the devil.
I just enjoy seeing people worship, praising God.
Hey everybody, and welcome to
Believe It
or Not,
the show where we believe it,
or maybe not.
Probably not. But hey, you know what? I'm ready to have my eyes opened.
Damien.
Yes.
Do you remember when we recorded this episode before?
Yeah, I do. I remember. Okay. I remember more the aftermath of it than I do the episode itself,
right.
though.
So we have talked about this guy before, but not not where anyone could listen. So now we're trying again. This is I guess it's our asshole series. Last time we did Greg Locke. This time we're doing another asshole. Are you Catholic? Are you a Catholic guy?
Last I checked, no, but I haven't been to the doctor in a while, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I'm not Catholic either, but again, haven't been to the doctor in a while.
Fair enough.
My last 4 doctor's appointments have just been over the phone, and that's a really weird thing.
I still don't know who my doctor is. So.
Right. You know you have one, you just don't know who he is.
Is that a story I went through on here? I can't remember.
No, I don't think so.
Well, I signed up for a doctor. I went to a walk-in clinic maybe 4 or 5 years ago, signed up for a doctor because they had a thing. They're accepting new patients. Didn't hear anything about it. And then the first couple months in the pandemic, this was maybe 2 years, maybe actually probably closer to 3 years after I had done that. And they're calling, it was like, Dr. and so-and-so is just calling to follow up with his patients and see how everyone's doing and everything. I'm like, well, I've never met this man. I don't know his name. And then I had a brief phone conversation with him, but I don't remember his name, and I don't really know where his office was because it's not in the same place where the walk-in clinic was. So I don't know how to contact him. I don't know who he is.
But he's your doctor.
But he's my doctor. So
yeah.
I guess I'll never see a doctor ever again now.
Yeah, you can't legally.
Yeah. If you're listening, doctor, call me.
I'm sure you are.
They called me once. I don't know. They just never did again.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure you'd be in your legal rights to just get another doctor. But
I mean, I think I always was. But
yeah. Can
it's just why get another one when I already have one?
That's true.
So
yeah, why have 2?
That's greedy.
Mm-hmm. But we're going to talk about a guy who probably needs to see a doctor. I don't know. I don't know if he's unhealthy or not. My guess is yeah. But this is a gentleman named William Anthony Donohue, or Bill Donohue, as he's more commonly referred to. We'll call him Bill, I guess.
BD.
BD, we'll call him BD. He's the head of the Catholic League. This was suggested by somebody in the comments on youtube.com, but I don't remember who it was. But thank you, whoever you are, you beautiful person, for suggesting this awful person.
Right, not to be confused with Phil Donohue, right? The TV guy.
Yeah, the television man.
That's how
This is a
I
different
call
guy.
everyone on TV. Just
Yeah,
the
the
TV
TV.
guy.
This guy has been on TV a number of times.
What?
But,
Really?
not to the joy that Phil Donohue brings. All right. So Bill Donohue was born in Manhattan in New York, New York.
The city's so nice, they named it twice.
I don't remember what the other name is.
For what, Manhattan? The Big Apple.
New York. Why did they name it twice? Oh, Big Apple, right? Yeah.
Big Apple.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Isn't it
one
the
of my
city
favorite-
the city that never sleeps?
One of my favorite life bits is when somebody says they're going to New York. I always say, New York, New York. And then they're always like, yeah.
Hey, I want to be a part of it. Can I come? New York, New York?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, of course. He started teaching in the 70s at a place called St. Lucy's School in Spanish Harlem. And then in 1977, he took a teaching position at Le Rocher College in Pennsylvania, in McCandless, Pennsylvania. And then in 1980, he received his doctorate in sociology from New York University. His first book was The Politics of the American Civil Liberties Union. From that, he was able to, establish himself with those conservatives. And he became part of the Conservative Heritage Foundation, which sounds like an awful, awful foundation, just by the fact that heritage.
What was he teaching again? Was he just like a general school teacher? Was it like like in Catholic schools or like?
Yeah, I think it was in Catholic schools. It just as a teaching career, so I'm not sure.
Okay,
but...
so we don't know if he was just like, a sociology teacher or he was doing like teaching them about the good word of the Lord.
Of the Lord? Yeah, I'm not sure exactly. Just a general school teacher.
All right.
Probably like
just
he's probably
curious.
like Michelle Pfeiffer in Dangerous Minds.
Was she a teacher in that?
She was an English teacher. Yeah.
Ah, right.
And then while he was in college in New York,
Collage.
this guy named Virgil C. Blum, he was a Jesuit priest.
Okay.
Marquette University in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, founded the Catholic League. And this was to,
The minor league baseball team?
yeah, it's a minor league baseball team only for Catholics. No, it's like an organization to fight against anti-Catholicism in America.
Anti-Catholic. All right, so this is kind of like the start of that war on Christmas bullshit thing.
Yeah, pretty much. So it's not like there hasn't been, some
Okay.
bigotry in the past towards Catholic people, but...
For sure. Yeah. But come on.
Yeah, exactly. And then in 1990, Blum died. I'm sure it's pronounced Bloom, died. And in 1993, Donohue took over as the director of that organization, a position he holds to this day. He says he's going to retire in the next couple years, and which is why he gave himself a $500,000 raise. Not he didn't change his salary to $500,000 a year. He gave himself that as a raise. So he's making about $1 million a year now, defending the Catholics. So he's
Defending the Catholics.
yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Let's see. He's a very, active person. He's always getting on TV. When anybody says anything against those dang Catholics, you gotta keep defending them. So he'll pop on TV. And,
So, I guess I'm curious, who are all these people saying all this stuff against the Catholics exactly?
South Park.
Okay.
Police who arrest priests who molest children.
Okay, so
Government
a satirical cartoon, and then people who are arresting criminals.
Yeah.
Where the police are arresting people who they probably shouldn't be, that's fine. But if they're Catholic, that's a problem?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. I'm just really confused how they're such a persecuted class that they need this big defamation league here.
Yeah. And it's all by because it's not a church-run organization. It's like a parachurch organization. So it's run based on donations.
They parachute into things.
Yeah. Exactly. Right. Don't say mean things about Catholics. I regret nothing.
Okay, well, maybe if you stopped doing shitty things, we wouldn't say mean things.
Exactly. Okay, so let's talk about some of the things he's been upset about.
Okay.
Do you remember Charlie Hebdo when that attack happened?
Yep.
So he sided with the attackers.
What?
Yeah. So he said that, first of all, that Muslims had a right to be angry. And sure, yeah,
they do have a right to be angry.
Yeah.
But that doesn't give them the right to
shoot them. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he said that self-censorship is the friend of freedom, and that free speech should not permit obscene portrayals of religious figures.
Oh, get fucked! Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Jeez, if your God is that fragile, then I don't know. I think you got bigger problems.
Yeah, exactly. So he's also said that marriage is not about love or making people happy, but that one fundamental and inextricable purpose of marriage is to have a family.
What a depressing view of the world.
Yeah. Would you like to guess whether or not he's married?
He probably... Actually, is he?
He's divorced.
Okay. I was going to say, he's probably in a very loveless marriage.
Yeah.
He's divorced, so he was in a loveless marriage.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I mean, like, come on. Like, I get that you think you need to serve God and have a big family and have all these kids so you can brainwash them into the family cult, but, like, come on. I mean, at the very least, you can like the person you're with.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure it'll be out by then, but I'm working on a video about marriage right now, and it's such a pervasive thing that marriage isn't about happiness. Okay. Well,
that's so weird, especially considering like how much of like pop culture says the exact opposite.
Yeah.
Which, you know, I mean, that can be problematic in some ways too.
Yeah.
Like, it's an overly idealized view of what a relationship actually is, but to completely say that it's not about happiness or love and then it's
exactly.
It's purely functional, then okay, sure.
And then he has a lot to say about molestation of children.
For or against?
Well, technically, I don't know, because he just defends the priest so much, and it's like, are you against this?
It's a weird hill to die on.
Yeah, and he's referred to investigations of the Catholic Church as cases of religious profiling, and he said there is no institution in the nation today, religious or secular, that has a better record in dealing with sexual misconduct than the Catholic Church.
That's not true at all.
I haven't fact checked it personally, but I'm gonna say I doubt it.
Yeah, I feel like it's what's the word? The opposite of that.
Yeah, that's what I would consider.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's defending the priests who are molesting, saying that it's like essentially a witch hunt against the Catholic Church for some reason. I don't know, man. This feels like a very like, where there's smoke, there's fire, and you're just kind of like putting your head in the sand and doubling down. It's like, you know, just burying yourself under the covers and saying, no, it's not real.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, in 2018, you know, that big Pennsylvania report of the grand jury report of all the sexual abuse in Pennsylvania, where over 300 priests were noted as being, you know, predators.
In one state.
In one state, yeah. He said that the victims weren't raped and they were only groped, not penetrated. So it's like not as big a deal. And I'm sure that's true for some of them, but it's still a big deal.
No. That's still a very huge deal.
Yeah.
I mean, even
Yep.
like sexual assault is a very huge deal, but not just that, but the abuse of power.
Yep.
And that right there, those kind of like power structures and abuse of that are huge deals. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure that none of these people were these ones fired? Were these guys fired, or was it just brought up?
No, I don't think so.
Some of them were fired. They're just shuffled around so they could go somewhere else and do it all over again. But it's not a big deal.
Yeah, not a big deal. Did you see that thing recently about the priest who was saying a wrong word in his baptisms?
A wrong word? What was he saying?
So he's been baptizing people for like 30 years or whatever. Mm-hmm. I don't know how long. He's been saying, we baptize you in the name of the Father, and it's supposed to be, I baptize you in the name of the Father. So he got in trouble with the Catholic Church, and they ended up firing him.
They fired him for that?
Yeah, and they're now tracking down everybody he's baptized so that they can rebaptize him.
Are you fucked?
Because he said the wrong magic words. Yeah.
So if he'd stuck his finger inside a kid, it would have been fine.
Yeah, they would have moved him around.
They would have moved him around to do it again. But if he does something like says we instead of I, that's why they fire him?
Yeah.
That's fucking insane.
Yeah. They don't really have their shit together over there at the Catholic
Oh
Church.
my God. Honestly, too, don't you think God would know what he means? He'd be like, I get it.
Yeah. Yeah, I get what he's
Close
saying.
enough.
Yeah, God doesn't understand context. He's like, what does he mean? No, I'm not blessing this.
Maybe he's saying it like the royal we.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like it can
The
work as
intention's
the
the
royal
same.
we.
Yeah. Or even just like we, like here at the church, like we the church or whatever. Like
Yeah, and they were
are
saying
doing
that's
it.
the reason, because it's not the church that's baptizing them, it's Jesus, and he's like speaking for Jesus. But then why would Jesus say, I baptize you in my own name?
Yeah, then it should be Jesus baptizes you in his own name.
Yeah.
Because Jesus isn't the one speaking.
Exactly. He once said, this is about the Pennsylvania thing. So Bill Donohue said, there is no ongoing crisis. In fact, there is no institution, private or public, that is less of a problem with sexual abuse of minors today than the Catholic Church. And same basic quote. Yeah. He just doesn't. Yeah.
What about the abuse against the minors?
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's a little bit of a bigger issue here.
Yeah. And he's campaigned and fought against bills that would require clergy to report any suspected child abuse, not even like their own child abuse, but like if a clergy who had a conscience heard about child abuse, they were trying to pass laws that, you have to report it, which is something that I think is in Canada. But he fought against that bill.
Why would you fight against that? Why? Like, I don't like. You can defend your religious freedoms and beliefs as much as you want, but why would you try and stop that unless you yourself have a stake in the bad things that are happening?
Yeah, exactly.
Like I don't see any reason why he would otherwise.
Yeah, exactly. And he also fought against another bill that would make it easier to get compensation from the Catholic Church. Mm-hmm. And he said the bill was sold as justification for victims of sexual abuse when in fact it was a sham. It was a vindictive bill pushed by lawmakers and activists out to rape the Catholic Church. He used that word as like saying that the bill was out to like our word, the Catholic Church.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Much like they're doing to the children, right? Who are trying to get some sort of compensation for having their lives ruined. But exactly. Yeah, we're going to tax the $1 billion religious organization that doesn't pay any taxes. So, fuck you, buddy.
Exactly.
God.
Oh, man.
Gross.
In June of last year, there was an ad that came out. It was just a law firm that was advertising, in New York. Mm-hmm. New York, New Jersey, or California. So they had law firms there. So they made a commercial saying that if you were abused by a priest or somebody in the Catholic Church, then they would represent you. And because they're a business and they saw an opportunity to make money, and there's a lot of people who have been abused by people in the Catholic Church, and probably like new legislation made it easier, so they're like, okay, let's get out there. So he said he went really against this, and he said, can you imagine if it was flipped? Can you imagine if they said, if you are a victim of a crime committed by an African American and would like filing a claim against him, contact us now? It's like you're comparing.
It's not the same.
It's not the same thing at all. One's an organization.
I mean, it would be like if like there was like an anti-black defamation league and there was like rampant sexual abuse in it, and then you're going after that. That's an apples to apples comparison. This is completely like not even close.
Yeah, exactly.
Insane.
Assaulting children that he defends, he also defends them dying.
Yeah. Well, so, may as well.
Yeah. Might as well. I mean, you got this far in.
Yeah, I mean, you've gone this far. You got to double down. Just start killing some kids. It's easier that way, Mm-hmm.
So I remember in Ireland when the nunnery, they found the dead kids. Wow. It was really sad. He said it was a lie in 2014 and it's a lie in 2017. The hoax is now back again.
Oh, the hoax that, multiple places, including Canada, have been having to deal with of recent times. Yeah. Exactly. Real global conspiracy against the Catholic Church. It had nothing to do with them perpetrating horrible things against children.
Yeah. And So he's been upset with Trudeau, Canada, as well, for his words about the residential school system. He wrote an open letter in 2017 to Trudeau. Trudeau asked the Pope to apologize for the Catholics. Okay, yeah. So yeah, 2017. He asked for apology, and then he asked again when they found like the thousands of bodies last year for an apology as well. So he wrote this big, long, open letter to Justin Trudeau. And this is a part near the end of it. He said, Catholics need more than an apology. They need you to intervene now by ordering all government officials to stop harassing priests for exercising fidelity to Catholic teaching on marriage and the family. Protestant ministers have similarly been affected. Moreover, Catholics are being denied government jobs simply because they profess a belief in Catholic sexual ethics. This oppression is unconscionable and must end. Please issue the requested apologies, and please support the conscious rights of Catholics and Protestants in Canada. To do less would be to invite skepticism, if not cynicism, about your concern for the victims of oppression. Okay, so he wrote this article about the UN. In it, he says, starting on June 4th, so this is last year after all the bodies were found, so-called experts from OHCHR put out a statement condemning the church for its mistreatment of Indigenous children at residential schools in Canada. But this is not exclusively a Catholic problem.
We're not saying it was.
Yeah, exactly. It is most especially a Canadian problem, and these tragedies are not unique to Canada, to Catholic-run residential schools. Virtually every faith and institution in Canada is culpable, yet true to globalists, Catholic bashing from them chooses to single out the church. Yeah, the Anglicans were responsible. The Canadian government was responsible. You know, a lot of people were responsible in ignoring what horrors we were doing. But that doesn't mean that because there's more than one person involved that nobody gets held responsible. All right, and it may surprise you to learn that that he does not like gay people. He said AIDS was a self-inflicted.
Right. Maybe the persecution of the Catholics is a self-inflicted disease.
Yeah, exactly.
Just spitballing that one out there.
Yeah, exactly. He said that gay marriage is one of the most bizarre ideas in human history.
What?
Yep. He said that marriage equality is equivalent to apartheid. He said if people don't realize that what we're up against here, they may be a minority, but you know, it was a minority of people in South Africa who took away the rights of black people. You can be a well-organized minority in this country, such as those on the left, gay and straight alike, and have a tremendous amount of influence if you have this lust and appetite for power.
If you're calling marriage equality like apartheid, the ones who are trying to stop gay marriage are like the people committing that.
Yeah, it's not like when a gay person gets married, it voids out a straight person's marriage.
No, you're the one who's trying to stop another smaller minority group from doing something.
Yeah.
You're the bad guy in that situation with your own example. What the fuck is this guy's problem?
So there's a number of gay Catholic groups and things like that, which he is against. And he says the only proper one is Courage, which is a group that encourages gay people to be celibate. Oh. So he says that one can be because they don't act on their sin or whatever.
Right. Except it doesn't say anywhere in the Bible about being gay, right?
Not really. Like there's, not until later translations when they added it in there to fit their political ideals.
Yeah. Did Jesus say anything about gay people?
No,
I don't think so.
He didn't.
Okay.
And maybe some in the Old Testament, but there's a lot in there like don't wear mixed fibers and stuff too. So.
But don't a lot of the Catholics and like a lot of Christians kind of not really follow that as dogmatically as the New Testament anyway?
There's that great scene from West Wing where he just goes through and compares talks about all the other things you're not allowed to do according to Leviticus, and
yeah,
it's just nuts.
Yeah, well, it's, it's things that it's selective. It's only good for them when they want to be mad about something or have a little thing that they can fight back against.
Yeah. He wrote a booklet about why they should keep gay people out of the Boy Scouts. A lot of not good stuff. And also against trans rights.
Right. Right.
Yeah, he said, no one doubts that there are men who have and want to transition to the other sex and vice versa. But it's not generally understood that transgender people are a fiction. They do not exist. These people are more popularly known as transsexuals. They are attempting to change their sex. I say attempting because they cannot succeed. I beg to differ. I'm going to go out and say I actually disagree with Bill Donohue on this one.
I just don't get why people care.
Yeah.
What people do with their bodies like this and with their choices. Like, it affects you in no way whatsoever. It's not your body. They're not forcing you to do this. This is their choice that they are making to better their lives.
Yeah.
So, like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, exactly. Every argument, like Sam, my sibling, had an argument with somebody on Twitter the other day.
Yeah.
With some TERFs, and their arguments are just so ridiculous. It reminded me of arguments about why we can't have black people move into our neighborhood. Like,
right.
It just all the arguments are just fear mongering and don't make any sense.
Right. Well, I was reading an article recently about the whole J.K. Rowling thing with regards to that, and it was kind of breaking down some of the stuff. I don't remember it well. It was like maybe 3 weeks ago that I read it, so I'm not going to be able to like recall much. But I guess one of the things I remember them saying was just that it's taking away women's rights, and I'm still not really sure how they think that's happening. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, all the arguments are just like these extreme things. Like, one of them was, oh, so you're just going to let men into women's prisons so they can sexually assault people? It's like, that's not...
No, that's not what's happening.
That's not what's happening. Hopefully, that's a prison reform issue. There's a lot of sexual assault in prisons in general, and they need to stop.
Exactly. Yeah, well, that's the other side of it, too, is like, oh, if it's man-on-man sexual assault, it's okay and funny.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that pisses me off. Yeah. I watched the movie Get Hard the other day, and it's just like only rape jokes.
Yeah.
And I don't know what I was expecting, but...
Well, the other side of that, too, it's like back to the washroom and change room thing. It's like these people who are wanting to use these facilities are doing it because that's where they feel comfortable and that's how they identify. They're not doing it. They're not doing it so it's like, ha, now I can do whatever I want. I mean, if someone is going to do that kind of stuff, like do something malicious or violent or sexually violent, they're going to do it regardless. You think if someone's going to like sexually assault someone, they're going to care which gendered washroom they're in?
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, it pisses me off. And it's like I've talked to before about, I mean, it wasn't like a sexual assault, but I was attacked when I was 6 in a bathroom.
Wow.
And it's like there was a cisgendered guy who attacked me. I was 6, he was like 30, and thought it was a good idea to attack a small boy. But like, yeah, so it's not like it doesn't happen. Yeah, and like I said too before, it's not like they're looking for loopholes. Like, oh, now I'm allowed in this bathroom, and so I can go. Yeah,
that's the part of that argument that I find just completely invalidates the whole fear behind it. Like, I mean, there's always going to be bad people.
Yeah,
but bad people aren't going to be stopped by things like that. If they want to do that shit, they're going to do that shit. They're going to find opportunities to do that stuff. You think a guy's like not going to see someone wander in somewhere and just follow them? You think that won't happen just because it's like, oh, can't go in there. That's the ladies' room. No, that's not how this works.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't know.
But they don't think it through because they're not actually looking to protect people. They're looking to...
Oh, yeah, and they don't actually care about sexual assault. I mean, if you really cared about it, then maybe you try and stop all the other sexual assaults that happen, pretty much constantly.
Yep, exactly.
So, I don't know, fucking weak arguments from weak-minded people.
So he criticized, in 2000, he criticized then presidential candidate George W. Bush, W, for appearing at Bob Jones University. Not because at the time Bob Jones University still had rules against interracial dating, but because they said that Catholics were the Antichrist and a satanic system.
What is Bob Jones? Is they just which is a hilarious name, by the way.
Yeah.
Are they just a different religious denomination?
Yeah, they're like a Baptist
Okay,
college,
so
I think, yeah.
Still ice cream, just a different flavor.
Yeah, exactly. Those people, they love to say that the Catholic Church is the Antichrist, and that, yeah, it's...
You're all reading from the same fucking book, boys. Like, come on.
Exactly. How dare you believe in God slightly different than me?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And people ask sometimes why I don't believe.
Yeah. That was great. We went to Comic-Con this week, and a couple people were upset at us for not believing.
Mm-hmm. Hey, man, fair enough. You know what?
Yeah.
It means a lot to you. I get it. But it's like, when you hear about stuff like that, and you look at just like things where it's like, again, like people who read the same stuff and have the same core beliefs are so at odds with each other about who's more right. It's like,
Yeah.
maybe you're just all wrong.
Yeah, obviously he's Catholic, so he's anti-abortion. So he was very upset with Obama for his selection of Kathleen Sebelius to head the Department of Health and Human Resources because she's pro-abortion.
Yeah.
He called her the most extreme pro-abortion zealot in the nation.
I doubt that. I highly doubt that.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see here. And he's also been upset at TV shows. Old man yells at TV. Let's see. In 97, he promoted a boycott of any advertisers of the show called Nothing Sacred because they had a sexy Catholic priest story.
Like the priest was sexy, or?
Yeah. The
Okay.
priest was sexy, so he told them to boycott it. Priest can't be sexy.
Why can't the priest be sexy?
I don't know. I've seen some sexy priests.
I mean, I feel like you can be sexy without being sexual. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true. Like
Like
me.
you can be like, hey, look, that guy's pretty sexy, but they're just doing their thing, right? They're not.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah. he was
Well, I
just
mean, I guess
upset
it's
by it.
fine if it's towards little children, right? According to Donohue
him,
here.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
maybe it was because it was trying to be sexy with a consenting adult.
Exactly. Of course, he boycotted Dogma.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't? I love that Kevin Smith also protested Dogma.
Did he? That's pretty
Yeah, he had a sign that said Dogma is dog shit.
Oh, I think I remember that. Yeah, I've seen that before.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He criticized CSI for promoting pro-abortion rights.
I mean, who'd have thought that liberal Hollywood would be promoting these ideals?
Oh, and yeah, he's part of the War on Christmas, or against the War on Christmas. That's him. He's part of that. So you were right there.
Cool.
Yeah.
You're allowed to say Merry Christmas. You're allowed to have all your Christmas shit. You're allowed to watch one of the hundreds of thousands of Christmas movies that they make every fucking year. No one's stopping you. Fuck you. Who cares? Who cares that a coffee company is trying to be a little more generally inclusive? Being more inclusive is not excluding you. You're still included in it. You're just not the fucking birthday boy anymore.
Yeah. Exactly. Mother Teresa. You've heard of her?
Oh, yeah. My favorite lady.
Yeah. So Hitchens wrote a book about her. He wrote a book defending her as kind of like a rebuttal to Hitchens' book.
Right.
And
Right.
And
well, Hitchens was called the missionary position. What was his called? I'm hoping it was equally as saucy.
In defense of Mother Teresa, a saintly woman. I don't know exactly what
I was hoping it was called Reverse Cowboy Gangbang.
That'd be a good name, too. He defends it by she fought against gangs, and she once rode a horse backwards, so it just
Some
felt
people
like the
might
right
say
name.
she was a reverse cowboy.
Yeah.
But women can't be cowboys, so we won't say that.
Oh, he got mad at Kathy Griffin because in an awards show, instead of thanking God, she said, all I can say is, suck it, Jesus. This is my award. This award is my God now. He got really mad about that.
I mean, that is pretty funny.
Yeah. And he got mad at Elton John for calling Jesus a super intelligent gay man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Though I do have a problem with, like, anytime somebody's not shown as sexual, that, like, they're probably just a closeted gay person, because ace people exist too, but I don't know. Maybe Jesus was a gay man, or didn't exist.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure Jesus fucked. Yeah.
Yeah, that guy got fucked. So, yeah, that's kind of Donohue in a bit of a nutshell. He's kind of a nutshell himself.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on this fuck?
I wouldn't mind kicking this nut in the nuts. What an asshole. I mean, I understand. I mean, this guy's making his money defending this shit. So, you know, whenever you see someone in a large position like this who defends such abhorrent acts, you got to wonder how much of it is actually based on their true beliefs in something, and how much of it is just based on the financial incentives for them to go to bat for such a large organization. And I don't know. I don't know enough about the guy. I haven't heard enough of what he said, but I'm leaning more towards the side that this dude he doesn't give a shit about the morality of any of this stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, have you ever turned down a job for, like, ethical reasons? We're like, I just can't.
I've definitely thought about it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've turned down one, like, photo shoot thing because
I've refused to do auditions because of that. Yeah.
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 And I couldn't imagine being like, would you like to be PR for the Catholic Church?
Fuck, man, that's nuts, man. That's nuts.
No, I would not. Thank you very much.
I mean, I guess the only side, maybe you might be able to, like, push a bit more of a progressive lean towards it, or at least attempt to, but
yeah,
I highly doubt that you'd be successful in that.
Yeah.
I feel like they've got too many people who have, you know, drunk the $1 billion Kool-Aid that they got going on over there.
Yeah. Jesus.
How much money do you think they got stashed away in the Vatican?
In the Vatican? Oh, man. I would say at least enough to feed the world.
Yeah, why would they do that? If they just cut down their fucking fancy robe budget a little bit, they could probably feed a few villages.
Use the same robe a couple years in a row.
Come on, just start wearing jeans and You know what they should be doing? You know all those clothes that they donate to, like, African countries?
Yeah.
They should just start donating them in the Vatican.
The robes, yeah.
And then the bishops and the priests should start wearing that. If they did that, if they started doing that to show, like, a bit of modesty and kind of, like, sacrifice, I might have a little more respect for these people.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
nope.
It's not going to happen.
Not going to happen.
Not going to happen. And I mean, the thing about that, too, it's not going to ruin the economy of the Vatican like it does some third world countries. Anyway, please, let's continue. Yeah. I'm done. I'm
I was going to say, what is going to happen, though, is we're going to thank some people.
Ooh, who are we thanking today? Our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, or the statue that we just won?
Or the patrons.
How about a raspberry pie?
Oh my God! Wow! Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you! Oh, thank you! Thank you so much.
Hey everybody, and welcome to our Bible study. It is another glorious week of learning about the Bible
and what's the Lord has to say. You know,
exactly. Because even more so, what's not in it. You know,
that's true. Because there's a lot of things that he didn't say, but he wanted to say, and that's why we come to church, is to learn those things.
Exactly. Like, did you know that God was maybe into classic cars?
Yeah,
could have been.
He was huge into the Ed Roth, you know, Rat Fink and stuff, but only the tasteful ones.
Right.
Amen.
But we have some couple thank yous, I think, to thank.
So today, why don't we thank these thank yous by thanking our good friends Megan, and Kimberly, and Jennifer, Kayla, and Anthony. Thank you.
And I have a very special prayer request for Erica. Erica loves large hats, and she's always been wearing, you know, those really large hats that...
Those big floppy hats?
Yeah, and then she gets really into the Kentucky Derby.
Right.
And wearing those types of hats.
Drinking mint juleps.
Yeah, mint juleps at the Kentucky Derby, but then she carries that into the rest of her life. And, yeah, it's like she goes into work and she's like, well, there's no hat policy at this job, but...
Listen, the Kentucky Derby happens once a year, and it needs to stay that way. So please stop bringing your big hats and your mint juleps and your southern drawl to work. Unless that's what your normal voice is. But if it's not, then don't bring it to work.
Yeah, exactly. And also, I think I might be allergic to mint, so think about me, too, when you drink those.
I'm allergic to juleps, so... Yeah.
Well, we really appreciate all the support, and we just put a blessing upon thine houses.
And a kiss upon thine lips. From the Lord.
From the Lord. Amen.
Can't you see you're not making Christianity better? You're just making rock and roll worse.
All right, so this is not a Catholic band. I tried to find a Catholic band, and then like a lot of them were in Latin.
I feel like a lot of
other countries.
I feel like there are a lot of bands who are Catholic.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Tom Araya, I think that's his name, from the lead singer from Slayer, is Catholic.
Okay. Oh, I could have done a Catholic lyric.
You could have.
I mean, a Slayer lyric. But I chose one that I liked as a young teen boy. I don't know if we've done this band yet. I don't think we have. The Supertones.
We might have.
Ska band.
I don't know. Ska, I kind of shut down when I hear ska. So.
Oh, not me. It's the greatest genre of music.
That's not even kind of
There's
true.
a bit of a Catholic connection in the song, though. They mention a Catholic person, so I guess that's something. I had to look it up.
You could have done Jesus of Suburbia by Green Day.
Oh, yeah.
Is that a Catholic song?
Or Jesus Land by Ben Folds. Let's see here. So it goes, just like Leia's father, you hit, we hit back harder. It's a Star Wars reference. I thought it was a Bible thing, and then I looked it up, and it was just a Star Wars reference.
Okay.
Like Huss and Stephen, I am not afraid to be a martyr.
Huss,
I guess, was before Martin Luther and before the Reformation. He tried to do his own Reformation and tried to change the Catholic Church, and then got executed.
Okay.
So I didn't know that when I would sing along while scatting. Not shitting, but like and then Stephen was the first martyr in the Bible, first Christian martyr. And then it goes on, California sun and sky, slip inside a suit and tie, Chevy rolls up to the house with everybody outside, gonna get down like we did the day before, 50 more people be waiting at the door, team against team, let's even the score. If there's 50 people outside, we got room for 50 more. We're moving all smooth and we getting grooving. We're fresh like salsa and we're fat like Jubin. Your cranium's cracked. I'm not sure what that is. Listeners, let us know what that is. Your cranium's cracked from a Shaolin attack. Protect your neck, Supertones strike back.
Okay, so they have a little Wu-Tang reference in there too.
Oh yeah. And then they say we want this whole band to be a big love letter, so we play the ska and it makes you feel better. God's love for you, so we got love for you. God's got love for you, so we got love for you. It's your life, so what you gonna do?
Okay. So it seems like they're just making a bunch of references to things that weren't Catholic.
Yeah.
But then trying to make it fun ska.
And it was.
Is an oxymoron, in my opinion.
But folks, don't join a ska band.
No. You know what? Join the
don't-
Catholic Church instead.
Yeah. Join the Catholic Church. Don't join a ska band.
Don't join a Catholic ska band.
You're right. Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye.
You have yourself a good week.
Work, Sky Moon.
This podcast has been brought to you by the Sonar Network. Sonar!
I hope I didn't lose all our ska fan listeners.
Me neither.